The war that began on June 13th has now entered a dangerous phase. Not only has the air war between the two most powerful armies in West Asia escalating, the IRGC and the IDF are now striking each other where it hurts the most. Earlier today, Iranian missile barrages struck Soroka Hospital in Israel. This was Iran's largest attack on Israel's civilian infrastructure. Despite Tel Aviv's multi-layered missile defense system, Israel is failing to intercept the missiles. And now, Israel says Iran will pay the price for this attack. Our next report telling you more.
Yet another day of horror. The missiles are raining day and night. Despite the multi-layered missile defense system, Israel is failing to intercept the incoming Iranian barrage. This is Beersheba's Soroka Medical Center, which is full of smoke and dust. A direct hit that shook ICU wards and trapped patients amid crumbling corridors.
This is the Soroka Hospital in southern Israel. You could see behind me that building of the hospital was hit by a missile from Iran early Thursday morning. The top of the building is basically blown off, and you could still see smoke smoldering from the side of it hours later.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows revenge, while Katz, the defense minister, says Iran's supreme leader can no longer be allowed to exist.
We are committed to destroying the nuclear threat, the threat of a nuclear annihilation against Israel.
Tehran claims the hospital was not deliberately targeted and claims it was aiming at two adjacent military sites. This is the same logic used by Israel when it targeted Iran's state broadcaster in Tehran on Monday. Iran released these images showing damage to the building. Dozens of Iranian ballistic missiles also struck two other Israeli cities. A missile struck the base of a skyscraper in Ramat Gan, close to central Tel Aviv and about 200 meters from the city's diamond exchange.
Huge. I never heard such a sound. I was in the army, my parents live in Ashkelon, I passed few bombs, I passed few wars.
But it was nothing like this.
This one was a tsunami from up, really.
One of the Iranian missiles that hit central Israel hit apartment buildings in Holon. The horrified residents narrate the ordeal.
We were inside the shelter and we heard an explosion like I've never heard in my life. And I have lived through a few wars since I was 4 years old, and that's it.
I was going down the stairs and closed the door of the shelter. There was a huge explosion and our building was damaged. Long live the people of Israel and everything will be fine.
This is the 7th day of relentless warfare, and the tempo is only accelerating. Missile trails scar the sky by day and night as Iran and Israel trade blow for blow. What began with Israel strikes on Iranian military targets and leadership has now escalated into a full-blown war. With both Iran and Israel vowing to hit back even harder, things are only getting tense with each passing day. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
In the aftermath of the tragic crash of Air India flight AI-171 on June 12th, which claimed the lives of 241 people, Air India has said it is now making major operational shifts. The airline is cutting 15% of its services on all wide-body aircraft that have global operations. The latest move will be effective till mid-July, and it reflects its response to broader operational challenges that Air India faces. The airline confirmed that it is cooperating fully with the official investigation into the crash and outlined known facts about the flight that crashed earlier this month. The airline said that the aircraft was a Boeing 787 with the last major inspection in June 2023, and the next one was due in December this year. Further outlining that the aircraft engines had also undergone recent checks in March and April this year. Since the crash of the 787 Dreamliner in Ahmedabad, the airline has initiated an enhanced safety inspection protocol that includes safety audits that extend beyond the Dreamliners. The company has said that it will extend these inspections to Boeing 77s as a precaution. Experts say that the safety checks are only part of the equation now. External pressures, economic challenges, and trust building remain central to the company's interests now. While Air India had set an ambitious and aggressive expansion plan that included adding 470 new aircraft to its existing fleet, its immediate concerns could force it to look at existing policies. Reputation risks are also high, as safety perception is key to consumer confidence in the global market. The Asian market remains extremely competitive, with Gulf carriers aggressively pushing for premiumization and quality of services that, according to experts, is key to cracking corporate deals that are a major source of revenue. Geopolitical tensions in West Asia have further complicated operations and the bottom line for Air India as air travel corridors face disruption. Flying routes have become longer, logistics have become complicated, and demand for business travel also is low. Overall, the weeks ahead are crucial for Air India on multiple fronts. To name some, balancing passenger confidence, regulatory demands, and minimizing service disruptions are more crucial than protecting revenue as of now. As Air India navigates this critical stretch in its transformation journey, it's not just about managing the crisis, but about proving its vision of becoming a world-class airline. U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Pakistan's Army Chief Field Marshal Asim Munir at the White House. The lunch meeting was the first time an American president hosted the head of Pakistan's army. Trump said he discussed the Iran-Israel conflict with Munir, as Pakistan knows about Tehran better than most. Islamabad has condemned Israel's airstrikes against Iran, saying that they violate international law and threaten regional stability.
Is there anything you can share from that meeting?
Yeah, well, they know Iran very well, better than most, and they're not happy about anything. It's not that they're bad with Israel. They know them both, actually, but they probably, maybe they know Iran better, but they see what's going on.
But is it all that was discussed? Could there possibly be more on the agenda during Trump and Munir's meeting? Perhaps Pakistan's position at the moment, how it is potentially trapped at the sidelines of the Iran-Israel war. We say that because Pakistan shares a long border with Iran, which runs up to over 900 kilometers. The two countries also have 4 border crossings. Granted, the crossings have now been shut under the prevailing situation. But There's a fear in Pakistan about Israel possibly toppling the current regime in Iran and what the ramifications of that scenario will mean for Islamabad. Reports say that Pakistan's army chief raised these fears during the meeting with Trump, including the very real possibility of cross-border unrest pressed on by militant outfits and Pakistan likely suffering a spillover of this war fought very close to its western borders. And now coming to US side of the story. Did the American president, Donald Trump, seek something from Pakistan? That's the question we are asking on GRAVITAS tonight. There are two possible areas of interest which Trump may have touched upon. Scenario number one. Trump could have potentially asked for the US to once again use Pakistan air bases. Granted that America has done this in the past during its long-drawn conflict with Afghanistan that lasted over 20 years. It's a base which is tried and tested by American forces. That was scenario number one. Now scenario number two. A mineral deal. The US is eyeing a deal several countries including Ukraine for rare earth minerals. It is possible that Trump may have pushed Munir to get Pakistan to sign a similar rare earth minerals deal with the United States of America. Pakistan has a significant mineral reserve buried deep under its mountains in the form of lithium, copper and rare earth elements which Washington could potentially be interested in tapping. But if this really is the case, what will be China's reaction to a potential US-Pakistan mineral deal? Granted that both US and China have been involved in a tango of sorts on, rather, who exerts how much influence over Pakistan. China already has in play the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, which is a part of its larger Belt and Road Initiative. The bottom line is this. Pakistan Army Chief's lunch with Donald Trump may be postured as a simple diplomatic sit-down, but behind closed doors, there's the very real possibility that Pakistan is scrambling to strike a balance between two of the biggest countries that it relies very heavily on. One wrong move and Islamabad might find itself in a deeper mess. In other news, as conflicts escalate in different parts of the world, there's an increasingly alarming trend of countries turning to domestic defense manufacturing. This shift is driven by a desire for self-reliance and strategic autonomy in defense. But it also carries the risks of a potential arms race. The global arms manufacturer list was an exclusive club, but it's quickly expanding now. Japan, one of the largest exporters of automobiles and cutting-edge tech, is now aggressively pivoting towards military exports. Japan's Defense Minister General Nakatani recently announced an intent to lead global defense manufacturing. Prime Minister of Japan, Shigeru Ishiba, also joined the push as he became the first leader in the country to attend Japan's largest defense expo. Recent escalations between Israel and Iran is not just a regional conflict. It is perhaps a reminder of how wars can impact countries, continents. Countries like India, Australia and South Korea are among the others that are investing heavily in homegrown military. Experts say that Japan's military exports may not be aimed at national security, but the government is increasingly looking at military exports to drive economic expansion. Japan's policy shift is concerning as it signals a pivot from the self-imposed restriction of arms exports. While the industrial logic is clear, it does raise a security concern and gets more complex when moral implications are considered. As countries increasingly pledge a higher percentage of the GDP for defense manufacturing, the business of wars is becoming an attractive one today. As countries increasingly expand their defense footprint, the cost of conflict is no longer measured in lives lost, but oil barrels disrupted, revenue through military exports, and national defense budgets.